Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's Down and Dirty. We're in a unique situation that I thought I would make a video on how to kind of shape a slope without having a rototilt or any sort of a bucket that allows you to kind of cut nice angles. So as you can see right here, we've got a slope cut in perpendicular to the machine, and then we have another slope cut in sort of parallel with our machine. I've got us turned sideways here, but we have to make a curve in this area. But you can see I've got a straight bucket. There's no way to do this and shape it with a straight bucket. And so I kind of wanted to walk you guys through my process when I'm doing something like this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set your machine up kind of at the center of your radius. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to track back just a hair where I kind of want the center of this curve to be, which is roughly right about here. I take that back. We're going to scoot forward just a hair, because what you're really looking for is where the boom is in line with the center of your radius. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back here and we're going to start to make our cut. And kind of looking at it in my line here, I'm going to move back just a hair. That's about where I want to be. And so we're going to start cutting that down. And there's tree roots in here, tree stumps. That's why this is a little hard. Right now we're just kind of rough shaping. We're not super worried about getting our slope just absolutely perfect. We're just really worried about bulking out material. And I've got an asphalt driveway here, so now what I'm going to do is actually switch to the heel of my bucket and kind of shape the rest of this with the heel of my bucket here, because that's not going to tear up my asphalt when I come into contact with it. So I'm safe right here. I'll break that free and now go back to the heel of my bucket to kind of rub it in. And so now we've roughly got the center of our radius somewhat shaped here. So I'm going to pull back with my excavator. We're going to use our blade and get those spoils out of the way. And again, I'm not super worried about getting it perfect. We're just getting stuff out of the way. So now what we've got is we have our slope to the right, we have our slope to the left, and now we have a halfway point. So the halfway point of our radius. So now what we're going to do is we're going to split these two sections in half. So we're going to track forward just a hair. I take that back. We're going to scoot back so I can heel in closer to myself. But now what we're going to do is we're going to split this radius roughly in half. So right about here, we're going to go back and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just kind of rough it in. Not worried about staying perfectly on grade right now. We're worried about roughing in our slope. Oh, and there's a stump. That always makes it more fun. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to blend those two. And you can see that as we spin the machine, our machine is kind of creating that arc for us. Now I'm going to treat this as if I don't have a swing boom, because on bigger machines you don't have a swing boom. But here's a little secret: when you are in a mini and you do have the option of a swing boom, is you can make your bucket follow that contour. So instead of spinning the whole machine, if I want to adjust the angle that we're digging, I can swing that boom over, and now you can see we can really blend that curve in nice, because our bucket is able to follow that angle. But again, for the sake of this video, we're going to pretend we don't have that option. And so all we're going to do is we're just going to kind of shape this slope using our bucket. And if we need to reposition the machine, sorry, I can't talk. If we need to reposition the machine to get the correct angle, we'll do that. But for the most part, you can see that this half of our radius, we're already starting to get a really nice shape to it. And I don't have a tilt rotator. I don't have anything that's making life easy on this slope. We are just using our angles to kind of blend everything together here. so right here, I'm noticing that the right side of my bucket's digging a little bit too much. And so what we can do is we can actually scoot forward a little, and we're gonna ease that angle so I can get more of an even pull across the whole width of the bucket, which will blend it better. So move your machine to where you're gonna be able to cut that angle where you need it. And same thing here. So I'm actually gonna back up just a hair to split this last little bit of this radius. And I'm gonna start pulling that. And you can see we're already starting to blend these two spots together. And we can make a nice radius without any special tools. Now, would a tilt rotator or another option, angle bucket, help? Absolutely. Do you need one to make nice slopes? No, you do not. With the correct technique, you do not need an angled bucket. And so we're going to do the same thing here at the bottom. We're going to move our machine around to kind of work this radius so that the bottom looks good as well. And you can see we're already starting to blend this radius really nicely. It's turning out really good. So from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna finish dialing this in. I'm gonna finish pulling it back out. But you can see we have now cut this radius in with no special tools. I could probably bump this center area right in here. I'll probably bump that back just a hair more just to kind of blend a little better. But that's a perfect radius with no special tools. So that's all I've got for today. It's not a super long down and dirty, but this is a technique that you guys can use. It's all about moving your machine and getting the correct angles. But once you do it, you can put out some really nice slopes without any specialized tools. And again, that's even without using the swing boom. Had we used the swing boom, we could have dialed this in even better. We wouldn't have had to move our machine physically around quite as much because we could get our angles using our swing boom. So as always, I hope this has been helpful for you guys. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below in the comments. And as always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.